Hello and welcome to Court of the Rings on twitch.tv/LotroStream. I'm Lotro's community manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour, hanging out, doing some Q&A, have a little bit of the latest news, and then I'll be in-game on Crick Hollow running the Spring Festival. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a good one. We've got a lot happening, though, in the next week. So I do have a moderate amount of news, probably the biggest one being that we are currently on track. I don't know if my monitor's bad. I think one of my monitors is fritzing out. Are you seeing a bunch of static over my image? I'm not. Okay. Monitor problems. Anyway, the biggest news for next week is that we are on track to release Update 35 next week. And we're going to have more information, including a downtime notice next week. Perhaps next Wednesday. We'll see how things go. Something like that. And we'll have more information about the downtime and the release notes next week. The release notes are a monster. Coming in at, what did I hear? Almost 12,000 words? Something like that. So there's a lot in there. And it's because of the captain changes, the warden changes, the power related changes, the revamp there, a bunch of quest stuff, PvMP work, and beyond. So you're going to need to maybe make a whole pot of coffee this time instead of just a cup. Or a whole thing of tea. Whatever. And that also means, unfortunately, that the translated versions into French and German are going to be real close in terms of whether or not we get them published in time for the release of Update 35. They're coming in very close. The translators are working very hard on it, but they didn't get a whole lot of time because the final version came together fairly late here, and so it could be let's say maybe up to a day or so before the French and German versions get released. But we're on track, though, otherwise to release it for next week. And we'll see how it goes in terms of the localized copy. But there is a lot there. For those who don't really know what's in Update 35 here, this is Return to Karn Doom. It's an instance cluster. We've got Small Fellowship, tiers 1 to 3 initially available, Sant Lur and Thoroskar, and then a Fellowship, Sagroth, Lair of Vermin. This is tiers 1 to 3 as well. And then in the very near future, we're releasing a raid as well. And that is a... Why did I do this to myself? Gwathrenost, the Witch King's Citadel. I should have practiced that pronouncer before I went live on the air. We also have some updates to the last Homely House. Like I say, a whole ton of class work, not just Captain and Warden, although they are getting extensive updates here in Update 35. And you've seen much of this already in various places on Bullroar, and it's really just that all those separate threads on the classes and everything are being brought into the release notes, and thus making the release notes fairly long for Update 35 here. Yeah, I don't really want to go over it all because it's not something I can really do here live on the air. But you've seen a lot of it, and we will have that as soon as we can. I do want to mention, though, there is one kind of important bit that it makes sense when you think about it, but I have not explicitly had us announce it yet, and I intend to do so here before we go live. But I'm announcing it here right now, which is that we are going to be resetting trait points for captains, hunters, and wardens. This has to do with the nature of the extensive changes that those classes are getting. Hunters, I'm not quite sure why, but for some reason facilitating a requirement that we reset trait points. So trait points are going to be reset here with Update 35 for captains, hunters, and wardens. You may perhaps want to screenshot your stuff. Although at the same time, especially with captains and wardens, if you've seen at any of these threads, you'll know that their traits are being reworked extensively. So, but it is something to keep in mind. If there's always going to be people who are going to be surprised on it. And I will get a message out on the forums and social media at the very least. Probably should just put in a launcher too, for next week. trying to see what else I should mention here. A bunch of work on delvings as well. There was a thread a while back about that. We're also adding delvings to the school and library of Tam Murdain. And a bunch of delving work there. So that's also in there. Now, this is going to have one impact on the Spring Festival. And the reason for that is, remember, there's a bug right now where the wrapper, the Splendor of Spring, does not reward its legendary tracery token. So we've been telling you to hang off completing the Splendor of Spring. Like, you turn it in and then you get your stuff. Don't turn it in until next week, until after 35 gets released. And then you'll get your legendary tracery token added to the rewards. I feel for people who maybe redeemed it anyway and are now feeling bad. But we have to have a game update in order to be able to fix this issue, and so that will be next week. So just hang on, before you turn that one in. So. Oh, one quick note as well on Update 35. I'm pretty sure this got spotted on Bulverer, but just in case it hasn't been, we are consolidating the Cardolan and Swanfleet mission NPCs into 3 mission givers. 3. Boglin and Gerwin's Convoy in Andrath, Hithriel and Hairn, and Irvo Church in Clegger. So the Cardolan Swanfleet missions are getting consolidated to those 3 NPCs here with Update 35. We're also reducing the difficulty of some of the missions, and you can get into that when you see the release notes here in the near future. Also, a lot of itemization work related to the power rework that took place. All right, so that is probably the biggest bit of news is Update 35 coming next week, and we'll have more information about that as we get closer to it. I'm going to put a link to this in chat. Because I'm using OBS right now, I don't have a very good way to display URLs on the screen. So I'm just going to have to link to it in chat, and you can follow it that way. But we do have a post this week on some of the initial thoughts about the future of the crafting update. I know that that's something people in chat have been very interested in. And Orion this week put out a thread talking about some of these future crafting update changes. I'm not going to get into it because Orion's not here at the moment, and it's fairly lengthy, and since I don't have it up on the screen, I'm just going to tell you about it and then let you read up on it and ask him questions about it in the forum thread. The thread is remaining open through the weekend. It's going to be shut down on Monday. We're kind of deliberately being systematic, I guess, about the way we're doing this. It's like, hey, we want feedback on this thread, not off-topic stuff. We don't want to hang it out. And we'll be back with a new version here when we're ready. So that's the intention on that one. I would also mention, finally, before I get... well, actually, I'll get to that junk carry-all in a second. Thank you. But I would mention that one of the things we have going on is next week is PAX East in the Boston area, and we're going to be there. Not directly on the Lotro side, though, but for Dungeons & Dragons Online, our other game, I and a bunch of other people will be doing a panel at PAX East. It's at the Albatross Theater, and it's supposed to be live streamed on PAX 2 from 2 to 3 p.m. next Thursday. And then afterwards, we're having a general community meetup, an SSG community meetup at Lucky's Lounge. I've talked about that a little bit in recent weeks, but if you're going to be in the area or would be in the area to hang out with us a little bit and other Lotro players, get some free snack-style food and a couple of drink tickets. You do have to be 21 or older. This is a bar, but non-alcoholic drinks will be available. I will be consuming them. And so will others, too. I've actually found that to be a change over the past decade or so of hosting community events, is the number of people not drinking alcohol has gone up quite a bit, and that's probably a good thing. So, anyway, that's next Thursday. So if you're interested, RSVP. And you can find a link to it in the Lotro forums. I put up a forum thread there with an RSVP link. And that way I've got a good sense of what the numbers are going to be. And like I said, we're going to have snack-style food, but tons of it. And some free swag. Something kind of like this Before the Shadow shirt. I might be bringing half a suitcase full of Before the Shadow shirts or something like that with me. And so it might be a cool opportunity to hang out, say hello, meet some of the SSG team in general, and then get on your way with either PAX East or whatever you got going on in your life. So, okay. Let me get to some Twitch chat. Real quick though, Spring Festival does continue through March 27th, so there is time still with the Spring Festival to get your stuff done, but the cutoff time is 3 a.m. on March 28th, so through the 27th. I would also mention that we have a Virtue XP boost happening this weekend, a 10% Virtue XP boost. This runs through the 19th, being shut off at 3 a.m. Eastern on the 20th. Also, I know this week we got up to the point in the public event schedule where Myrtle Mint was approximately dating arrived and did not arrive. The latest word as to when Myrtle Mint will be here will be roughly around April 19th. And it'll coincide with the game update around that time, some kind of patch or something that we're going to have to do. So that's why the dating is approximate. But that is the latest update. It's not. It was originally kind of maybe scheduled to be around this time, but it ain't happening yet. So it's going to be April 19th before Myrtle Mint arrives on that. And that's why we're kind of putting approximate dating on the schedule. I know it's a little difficult. This is frankly kind of why we weren't putting in the schedule earlier. But it's worth doing the work and having it there. And we will endeavor to keep it as accurate as possible. Okay. Now let me get to everyone's chat. The Instance Cluster is not free to play. It will be available in the Lotro store. Speaking of things in the Lotro store, we released this week, where did I just put it? Yeah, 3 of the new carry-alls. We have the Task, Die, and brand new Junk item carry-alls permanently available in the Lotro store. I know that's been a request in Twitch chat here, and it's nice to be able to do this. I'll get to the Junk carry-all in a second, but before I do that, the Task carry-all in particular, something that's fairly useful I have found. If you're into dies, there's a die carry-all available now, and then the Junk item carry-all. So this was a carry-all that was made along with some of the initial batches of carry-alls that we've done, and we have not to date released it. In part because do you really want to pick up an item that stores vendor trash, essentially, that you can't sell directly from the bag? And we're putting in the store anyway, but please do be aware that you can't sell directly from a carry-all. So that includes the Junk carry-all, which means that the items that collect in there will not clutter up your inventory while you're in the landscape or doing whatever it is you're doing. But it is something you're going to have to deal with before you can sell things from it. So that had kind of been the sticking point and why it was never included in, say, any of the expansions or kind of special deals or things that we've done. But we did ultimately decide, hey, let's just put it in the store. It does have the nice benefit of dropping this stuff kind of out of your inventory and into the bag, even if it means a little bit of work afterwards to deal with. And so that is now available in the store. And it specifically collects the things that you pick up while questing that are like, this can be sold for coin. So. Oh, well, anyway, I think that we pretty well covered the news here. Maybe I should get in-game. Let me double check to see what's going on and swap on over. We are saying hello to Hergler, the Hobbit Burglar, currently level 22. think 22, right? Yep, 22. Working my way through it. And this is the character I've been running the Before the Shadow stuff with, which we are there. We're still going to be going back and running that here in the near future. But you'll notice that it's a level 25 quest, so me at 22 definitely won't hurt to be picking up some XP from running the Spring Festival stuff here. I ran a little bit last week, and we're going to continue that trend here today. So, that's what's up. Oh, let me actually, before I do that though, pick up my next rapper quest.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Yes. I had run a little bit in the maze, I guess last night before, or something like that, and ran around a little bit just to complete the first wrapper so that I could start fresh here for the next one on the stream here today. But we're still doing the kind of flower quest here. So. Alright, I need to figure out where I'm going here. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, not far. No? Oh, I don't want to do that yet. I need to remember where I need to go. To depart in springtime. Yeah, okay. So I need to get over to Mount, probably, and get over to the Shire. That's what I need to do. Alright. So there was not a time zone change. The problem there was in the United States. We lost our hour the prior weekend. And so Europe doesn't do it until the end of March here. And so for the next 2 to 3 weeks, we are in a weird place time-wise, where we're actually like an hour closer than we normally are. So instead of the usual 6-hour offset, it's basically a 5-hour offset. We're still technically GMT minus 4. It's just that what GMT minus 4 means is somewhat weird. If you're in Europe especially. Functionality to be able to remove all from a carry-all would indeed be nice functionality. Perhaps at some point here we can do that. Okay, I'm now in Bree. So let me get over to the Shire. Where am I specifically going? I'm going over to Stock. That's what I want to do. Although it might be Hobbiton, huh? Alright. That's hopefully some kind of functionality we could add in the future.
What do you need?
Well, gonna have to be Hobbiton. I am not in a position to tell you the price of Return to Carn at this time because I don't personally know it. I'm sorry. I have not heard of plans to be able to re-offer the character undelete service. Perhaps that's something that we could do in the future, but I don't know anything more about it. Lua scripting dealing with carry-alls. That would be another nice bit of functionality. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what our position to be able to work on Lua scripting improvements is. Certainly, I know that what I suspect the engineers um, who would need to be involved in that work are certainly not going to be in a position to do anything like that short term. But I don't know what the future of that might be. So I'm not actually sure about the character undelete service either. I'm not aware of its current status. I guess I hadn't heard that we had taken it away, but someone in chat had said we did, so I was just responding to that. I would need to actually double check to see what the current status is of it myself, to be frank. I haven't thought about it in quite some time. But perhaps that is something that, I don't know, are we still using that as a premium service? I'm not sure. I don't know. It's been a while. So. I feel like there's something I'm missing that I should be talking about. I can't quite remember. I would congratulate, quick, the people who put on Into the Woods last Friday and Saturday. I thought it was an amazing performance. I was able to make it to both performances, and it turned out great. So congratulations on that. And I know that we have a lot of cool player events happening in the coming weeks here as well. And so, you know, I think I need to actually move this quick so that I can use it. There we go. Which I will want to do here in the relatively near future as I make my way over to Woodhall. I don't know if there really is a whole lot. We're just hard at work on getting the final touches on Update 35 here so that we can get that released next week. Some of us are dealing with PAX and things like that, and everyone's just hard at work on their content, so they're getting the raid finalized as well. So we had stated in our letter to the players that... Alright, here we go. This is good enough. We had stated in our letter to the players that we intend to do at least some level of work to every class here in 2023. And so I would imagine that while there is work with the Hunter here in Update 35, it's not the full breadth of the work that'll be done on Hunter. And there will be quite a bit more that you'll see later this year. I would imagine that look would very likely also include a look at Yellow Hunter. But I couldn't say as to what the timeline of it would be. Okay, I need to go off here to the right a little.
A lovely day, isn't it? Good day.
Oh, okay. So I just need to kind of keep going. Marjoram, huh? Okay. There she is. Oh yeah, Hobbit painting, okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't be of further use in terms of providing clarity on the state of Undelete live on the air. I don't remember what its current status is. I'm sorry. All right. Is there an update on the timeline of the forum revamp? Nothing immediate. I would say that the timeline will hopefully be within the next 3 to 4 months. Within that, could be even a couple of months from now. Could be a month and a half, maybe something like that. But probably nothing earlier than that. There's still some work that needs to be done, and it's being rolled out across not just Standing Stone games, but a few other Daybreak Games wide games as well. So the people doing the forum work are doing it for a whole bunch of different things. And so we're on that list as I believe number 3 right now. And the other 2 are in process. So I don't have an exact time frame, but it's going to be like this year and most likely the first half of this year, and could even be within a few months here. But we'll have more information about it as we get closer. A reminder, what we're going to do is people are going to need to, I believe, create new forum accounts, because we're using the new forum account, just a whole new forum platform, essentially. Oh, I have to go all the way to the festival grounds. All right. I'm going to, I'm just going to make it happen. All right. There we go. Oh, sort of a do not sort button. Potentially that could happen in the future with UI, some further UI work. You know, you always want to be careful in saying it, but I always get this one mixed up. Why do I do this to myself? I can never remember which one the southeast is. This is not this one, though. So it is... Let's see, there's no one over here. I already gave it to them. Why do I do this to myself? I always do this. There we go. Ah, back here. Okay. No! I'm gonna fail the stupid thing. Oh. There we go. All right. Yes, the existing forums will go into a read-only state, and that is, um, yeah, they're just going to be in a read-only state, and so you can copy over all your stuff as you want to. Um, but you will have to create a new forum account, and this is really to make the forums what they really need to be. Because I think everyone's well aware that the current forums have got some issues, and a large reason for those issues are due to the kind of layers of various management systems that it has to go through to operate on a daily basis, in addition to just kind of being old and outdated. So we're getting new forums, and I think people are going to like it quite a bit. It will be a little bit of a thing to sort of the initial first couple of weeks. You know, if we have trolling, we'll have to deal with it. But I think it should be a generally more robust set of features, and people will like the new forums.
Sweet-eyed Melon, will you stay a moment?
Stay a moment.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Yeah, I think everyone recognizes that the existing forums could be better. So it'll be a vast improvement. Pretty soon here, I will actually probably be able to show you something from it. And that would be kind of an early mock-up. But I don't quite want to do it yet because there's still a few pieces that we need to sort through. Sorry, I'd rather have the Wandering Elf.
What do you need?
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, it's just not quite looking as polished as I want it to look before I show it off to everybody. But it's getting there. It is pretty close. I have all the forums set up, all the structure, including French and German. All the kind of user groups and everything are mostly set up. And it's really just cosmetic and some kind of formal structural things that need to take place yet that we're in the process of working on. And once it all gets finalized, it'll be scheduled, announced. We'll try to do as much of a window, I would hope at least a couple of weeks, to give people time to prepare, as it were. But they will probably you'll have time to prepare. Not that there's really a whole lot of preparing to do. Preparing is mostly just making sure you're there perhaps day one to snag your name. I do think that's going to happen. I do think it's going to be a bit of a pain in the rear of the vehicle. But it, for years, there have been discussions about how to make it all work. And the one consistent solution has been to start fresh. It's going to be way better for us to start fresh. And I know it's going to be kind of a hassle for a few people. Hopefully people won't troll. But
what do you need?
We'll do the best we can. And we'll get through it on the other side with much better forums for everybody.
How can I be of service?
So one of the things that I'm experimenting with, and you know, again, not all of these features may make it to the end product. I know that there was a discussion that I kind of just had
Hello
casually about a like and dislike button here on the stream, and it kind of came back to haunt me a bit when the forums got wind and was like, he's going to do what? So I want to be careful about doing too many features, but one of the ways it's currently set up is you can just have a regular forum post. You could have what's called an article, which is, I think, basically a forum post with a little bit more kind of article-style formatting, and perhaps a change in the total word count you're allowed to do, although I haven't been able to actually find a place where that is indicated. But either way, a little bit fancier looking kind of article format. Or like a poll or a question. And the way polls work are polls. And basically a forum thread with a poll structure on the top. And a question is sort of, I guess, a little bit almost like Quora is the one I know. I don't even know that I know it that well. But it sometimes search results show up with it. And it's a way where you can ask a question, get an answer, and then weigh an answer. So you would specifically say, this is the best answer to this question. And what it'll do is make it like kind of the second post. Like, you can read the discussion. Here's the best answer that was determined. And I think it's determined by the OP. I'm still working through some of the kind of like, okay, so how's this actually work? But that's how I think it works. And that seems like that would be a useful option for people. I can see it in builds and classes and guides, walkthroughs. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons why you might want to do something like that. And I'm kind of interested in seeing what the community might be able to get out of it. And if we want to do it, go to always turn it off in the future. But it was something that I was thinking of, and I think it might be kind of cool. These tweens, man. Come over here.
Good
Right.
day.
No, it's not AI. It's just someone saying this is a great answer, and then that answer being kind of placed as the answer to a question. And you know, so that kind of post is more suitable to something that would lead to that kind of result. So it would be you you know, whether it's asking a technical or build or guide or lore or whatever question, really, I guess. You could highlight a specific answer. I am sorry to say that at the moment, right now, today, there is not a dark mode for the Lotro forums. I would like there to be one. And I think it might mean having to do a whole bunch of template and style work to create it. And I'm not sure how feasible that is before a launch. But it is something that's been on my mind as well. Because I know people like their dark mode. I do too. But it currently does not support it. So that's been one of the things that's been on my mind, frankly, of late. I still have a couple of tweens to find. See, you can, if you really want to, you can just kind of wait for
Hello there.
them to show up in places where you know they'll run, but got a bunch of people out here today. That doesn't seem like the wisest choice. So dark mode is just a version that emphasizes a black screen with minimal brightness, both for night viewing and just general preference. Now you're gonna disappear before I can get to you. Or they will.
Hello there.
Sorry. Alright, so now I believe it's time to head on home. Which is not quite this way yet, is it? There we are. Overall, the current farms aren't particularly bright. They do have a generally darker theme than
What do you need?
like a big bright one. But it's something that's on my mind. If I can get it done, I will. If I can get it created, I will. I can't promise anything today,
need?
though. Oh, I still have to find 2 wandering elves? Okay. Yeah, I'm the same way. You see me doing the same thing, Lady Eleni. I just sort of I pick up all the find the wanderings and then just sort of do it, and then I'll tear through the races, and that works out pretty well. I can't, unfortunately, because I haven't been paying enough attention to where I specifically picked up all the elves. I can't remember where I did, but I don't think I've been up in this corner yet. So let me see. How long until this is on YouTube? It'll be later this afternoon. When I get done with the stream, I have to do the work to get it uploaded and processed, and that work takes time. Usually once I get it up, like start uploading it to YouTube, it's like 2 hours. Really, before I can flip it to public. It takes like an hour to upload these days, and an hour to process. So later this afternoon. Same with Facebook, frankly. Okay, so the last one, Mulchbur. Perhaps over this way? Ah, there you are. Nice.
What do you need?
Yay. Now where am I? Here we go. Lost in the Spring Festival maze. Somewhat lost. Oops. Yeah, you can just rewatch the show on Twitch. It's always available there too. And I upload it afterwards to Facebook and YouTube. I have not heard of us particularly
Hail,
making the
friend,
loot
and well
in
met.
in Doom of Kara Skelebron particularly low. I can't speak as to
Hello,
its
friend.
existing drop
Could you
rate.
help me with something?
Oops. Oh, shoot. I went the wrong way. Or did I? Yeah, because I came out. Oh no! I'm going to lose it. Dang it. This way. Yep. Honestly, I don't know that you missed all that much in the show. What I've been making sure I do is get the news in the first half really done. And that way, for those who are less interested in just kind of hanging out with me and things like that, you don't have to. So, generally I just have a pattern and I just sort of go into cruise control mode, but I just screwed it up. That's fine. That's fine. I can just... I'm okay.
Greetings, traveler. Will you stay a moment?
Oh, right. Actually, do I want to cancel that? Yeah, let's do that one instead. Can't remember. So, any news on when the anniversary news will be released or what will happen at the anniversary? I can't yet tease the anniversary plan. I apologize. It's something that's on our mind, although I may have stated something, because remember I mentioned we have a game update that will be needed to bring out Myrtle Mint, and that the date is April 19th. Or around April 19th. And our anniversary is, when again? April 25th? 26th? Yeah. And, so, you know, by reason of deduction, one might conclude, ... Yes, I understand that we do, I believe, have new things that will be on offer with Myrtle Mint. Hang on a quick second. I have a knock on my door. Sorry about that. Always a little nervous when all of a sudden your door knocks here in 2023, is it not? That doesn't happen so much. Where am I now? I'm all discombobulated. Alright. Alright. A few signs up here then to get. Oh, including that one. You know, you are not wrong, Seaman. As a matter of fact, it was exactly that. Wow, it's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so probably this other side I have yet to get. Yeah, I was trying to explain. Wait a second, I'm on a live stream. I was like the no, because no. Uh-oh. Dreaded 9 of 10 signs, huh? Okay. You guys can help me out, maybe. Figure out which sign I haven't done. Yeah. I don't think there's one back here, but... Well, there was the... I actually did this back corner. That one I know. Okay. No. I've had a rash of visitors trying to sell me things through my house of late. Because of a thing I did. And it's been a thing, that's for sure. I feel like this last sign has to be over this way still. But that's the end, so... Okay. Don't think I have... Oh, I did hit the sign. Okay. Well, if it isn't that one, then... Isn't that one? That's a dead end. Let's see... No. Southwest corner near the non-pathing elf? That could be. That could be. Let me, I will head my way over there in just a second. Yeah, because there's nothing here. Okay. Yeah, but you're right. no. Okay, so I did hit that one. That's true. I should not just be wandering to try to find it, should I? But all right, well, we're just about towards the end of the show anyway. I could just sort of finish this up off stream. There isn't anything down here, is there? No, there is. I hit that one. Well, that is the nature of a maze, is it not? Is to be mazy. And the Spring Festival accomplishes proper mazeness. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Well, let's just wrap it up then. I think that's pretty much where we are, aren't we? I also got lucky. I'll have to look it up on the wiki and just sort of be systemic about it. But I feel like I've... I still feel like it has to be over on this side somewhere. See, that's just the dead end. There's nothing really over here. Alright, well, I've been here, so I must find it. Okay, well, maybe I'll have to call up said wiki then. I don't know. Gonna have to figure out what I'm screwing up here. See, I agree there was that southeast area I really hadn't done much with, but there's just no signs here, so... You know who's got a good guide on this? Would be Fibro. Jedi. From fibrojedi.uk. Maybe I should do that. I have not been using the delete key to target the signs because it just hasn't really... I didn't think I was going to need to. And then, of course, you know, you do. I'll give it one more shot through here. Well, I think I will then. I think I'm going to need to call up an actual walkthrough here. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up then. We've got, I believe, Tolkien Professor is not here for the next couple of weeks. Druid's Fire is going to be taken over here, I believe, in a little bit. So there we go. There are two in the southeast west corner that I did not see you find. Well, I guess while I'm talking here, I can do that. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. And we'll be back next week with more information about Update 35. It should be most likely released by then. And so we'll be running the new stuff. Because they are small group instances, perhaps I should go and get a group here together in the coming weeks to try to run some of this stuff. I don't know that it's all that easy to do to coordinate with the group, but it might be fun. I'd like to do it. Maybe there's a way I can here in the near future. But yeah, see, there's the one sign. That one I got. And this one's just a dead end. Yeah. And then the other sign is back around this away. And it's kind of over here, right? Does that count? Or is that one of the entrance ones? Either way, like I say, I think we're going to call it a stream here, so. Yeah, so I got both of those. We'll just have to go figure out which one I have yet to get. So, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you again next week. Have fun.